Hi guys, this is Eva and today I'm going to talk about insulin resistance and how insulin resistance develops. If you haven't seen my previous video about how sugar is utilized by the cell and how sugar can enter the cell, please watch it. I put the link in the description below. But let me go through it very quickly. This is the cell, this is the sugar, these are the insulin receptors. When insulin attached to the the insulin receptor will activate an enzyme that activates another enzyme, and this whole process goes through until GLUT4 is activated. When GLUT4 is activated, it will go to the cell membrane and transport the sugar into the cell. That is why we call GLUT4 a transporter, because the sugar cannot enter the cell by itself. It cannot go through the cell membrane by itself, so it needs a transporter, and GLUT4 will always come and pick up the sugar and transport it into the cell. But this GLUT4 will come for the sugar only when it is activated. But what can block this whole process, this signaling process? Well, not only sugar but fat also enters the cell. Here is the fatty acid. Free fatty acid enters the cell and it has different toxic fatty breakdown products and free radicals. And these breakdown products and free radicals on one side will suppress the mitochondria. On the other side, they will block certain enzymes. For example, here, another maybe here. So they block these enzymes, and here the signaling process will stop. It will stop here. GLUT4 won't be activated, so it won't be, when GLUT4 is not activated, it cannot go to pick up the sugar. So sugar will stay outside of the cell, inside our bloodstream, giving us high blood sugar level. But what can we do to fix the problem? When somebody has type 2 diabetes, they should not focus on restricting carbohydrate, but they should focus on cleaning the cell out of these fats and the breakdown products and the free radicals. So when we clean out the cell of the fat, then this whole process will work again. So let's do that. Let's cut out the chicken and all kind of meat, and let's skip the fish, the egg, the cheese, milk, and other dairy products. And we start to clean our cells. We eat healthy carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not our enemies. So we're going to eat whole plant food, fruits, legumes, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, all these. And finally, these blocks will be cleaned up. So when we eat the carbohydrates, again insulin attached to the receptor, and the receptor is able to activate these enzymes, and the signal will go through properly, and GLUT4 will transport the sugar into the cell. So sugar is not the problem. You need sugar for energy. You have to solve the problem so that the sugar can enter the cell. Because if it cannot enter the cell, that's the problem. Then you will have a high blood sugar level. So clean up the mess, clean up all the fat from the cell that blocks these signals, and then no problem. You can eat a lot of carbohydrate and you will have no high blood sugar level. So diabetic people who has type 2 diabetes, but even type 1, because they have this problem also, type 1 diabetic people also can have this problem. And when they clear out their cells, and they increase their insulin sensitivity, they will need less insulin. Please check out my other videos, what diabetics should eat, and all the doctors and other diabetic people I will give you.